Hey guys, so I'm going to make a quick video to talk to you a little bit about best methods for soaking your beans, why it's important, and what to do if you have canned beans and you want to know a little bit more about reading the label and how to prepare them so that you get the most out of it. So here's the deal. I love beans. I am not anti-bean. The problem is that a lot of times if you're cooking beans from scratch and you're just chucking them in some water and cooking away, you're not preparing them in a way that reduces the phytic acid. Okay, so the phytic acid is something that's in the beans that inhibits absorption of a lot of the minerals. It's kind of like a little plant defense, basically. Good news is you can pretty easily reduce the amount of, or almost eliminate the amount of phytic acid that is in the beans by soaking them, especially with a little acid. So some, not like acid, but like lemon juice. I like to squeeze the half a lemon or whole lemon and put the rind right in there and everything with some clean water. And you can soak them for just over 7 hours is what's been researched to have the most efficacy. And then you rinse them, you put them in whatever liquid you're going to cook them in, whatever, shenanigans you're going to make with them. So I'm making red beans and rice coming up soon. So I'm going to toss my beans in with some clean water. I rinse them off, usually pick out the nasties, and then throw them in some water with some lemon juice and the whole lemon. And the next day rinse them and I'm ready to go. I have now a food that is all the nutrients in it are way more bioavailable. They're more easily digested. And people that often have trouble eating grains, so soaking grains is a lesson for another time, or beans, typically have a lot better reaction to home-soaked, home-cooked beans. So that's pretty awesome. They're full of minerals. They've got a lot of great complex carbs and fiber. There's just a lot of health benefits from eating some good whole food beans. Now, let's check these guys out. So I have kind of a smattering here. Unfortunately, I ended up with 3 of the same brand. I meant to get some different ones. But so we have canned beans. Actually, as far as canned food goes, beans are not my least favorite. I think that they're pretty decent because what happens is this liquid that we have inside of here, when you dump the beans out, it's kind of got that gooey, like thick liquid, is that the phytic acid has leached into the liquid. This is like a little mini soaking procedure here. The thing that you want to remember is that if you just dump this whole can into your soup or your, whatever you're making, you're dumping in the phytic acid as well. So take 2 extra seconds, open the beans, dump them in the colander, and rinse them off until the bubbles stop. And all of a sudden, you have done a teeny tiny step that's really increased the nutrient availability of the beans that you're about to eat. Let's check this out a little bit though. So depending on what kind of beans you're buying and what you're trying to make, reading labels is never a bad idea. It seems like you shouldn't have to read a can of beans label, but you kind of do. So we've got beans, white kidney beans, water, salt, calcium chloride, firming agent, so everything stays where it's supposed to be. It's kind of like Spanx for beans, I suppose, which you don't need, obviously, if you're making your beans from home and from scratch. And then disodium EDTA, so to protect color. EDTA is not one of my favorites. It's a chemical salt that is used to prevent color loss. Okay, first of all, oh shoot, what color are these? They're white, right? So you needed the EDTA to protect the color. Okay, sure, whatever. I get it a little bit with these ones. I mean, they're red. If you bought kidney beans that are dark red and they came out like pink, maybe you could be offended or something like that. But still not a big fan that it's in these 2 beans here. There's been some research that shows even in smaller quantities that EDTA can inhibit calcium vitamin C or calcium. I'll look it up. And B vitamin as well. I think that we're going to find before too long it's not really quality substance, and it's not going to be added to things very frequently. You can find it sometimes in your body care and skincare products as well to preserve and prevent caking or things like that in different products. You feel free to do some research on your own, but I prefer to not feed EDTA to my family. But you can find beans that don't have that as an ingredient. So just take a peek. Organic prepared garbanzo beans, water, and sea salt. So yeah, #winner. Rinse those suckers off, throw them in whatever you want, and you're good to go. All right, if you have any other questions, which you probably do because that was a super tiny brief overview on soaking beans, let me know. I do love to throw in some like kombu, which is a really awesome seaweed when I soak my beans. So I would do the lemon, do the water, do the beans, and then throw a strip of kombu in there, which would really increase the nutrition that I'm getting from there, because as it soaks, it's going to soak in the awesome kombu, which is full of minerals and vitamins, and then I would cook the beans right in there. So if you have any questions, please let me know. Otherwise, see you soon.